Back here at the tank, Brodie Brazil with Jamal Mayers today instead of Drew Remenda. 5-4 win for the Sharks. They get to end that 5-game skid. Jimmer, you think about the Sharks' last game, Calgary didn't finish well. I think starting tonight, Macklin getting that first goal, even if Ingram was way out of his crease, it just meant something for the Sharks to get on the board and strike first.
It was very important. I think that having 5 different goal scorers was important. Everybody was involved in this game, creating opportunities, and then withstanding the push that you knew was going to come in several different instances from the Edmonton Oilers, and they were able to do just that and hold off and find a way to get the win.
Shakir Mukhamadullin, the #1 star of the game on 2 fronts, saving a Roslovic goal. Askey turnover, he was out of the crease. So Muck able to jump in there and do that, and then also score the Sharks' 5th goal of the day today. So I don't want to say an unlikely hero, but somebody who made tangible impacts in the game.
Absolutely, and then some great plays as well up the ice offensively. I remember one play where he moved it up quickly to Toffoli, who ended up getting an opportunity. He was great defensively, obviously sacrificing his body, blocking shots, and then coming up with a massive goal and a great play by, I believe it was Eklund, who pulled up and hit him late.
That's right.
He worked his tail off to get up in the play to be able to get in that position. And what I liked most about his shot was he didn't dust it off. He collected it and shot it all in one motion with great traffic in front and a great opportunity for him, and he cashed in.
Even in the last game and subsequent loss, Ryan Warsofsky thought that Michael Misa was one of the better Shark skaters. Misa does get a goal, a very stick-to-itiveness type goal today. I just feel like of all the things that could happen down the stretch for San Jose, if Michael Misa, with more games played and more experience, if he starts to blossom like we think he could, what a gift that would be for this franchise.
Absolutely. I think the pace that he's playing with, the intention, he first made a really nice pass on that power play right before he scored to Toffoli, but what I liked about it was he didn't just stand there. He went to the net with aggression and got a fortuitous bounce, but cashed in because of that aggressiveness, able to use his size and his frame. You're going to see he's responsible defensively. He does great things in the defensive zone, and I think as he gains more confidence, you're going to see more from him offensively.
You mentioned before weathering the storm that you knew Edmonton would bring. This wasn't just a win for the Sharks that they needed. I mean, it was that, but it was against the Oilers, and McDavid doesn't factor in on the goal scoring, but Draisaitl does, Bouchard does, some of the more known figures do. What was it about the Sharks today that even though Edmonton put up 4, they withstood that storm?
I think for the most part they defended aggressively, and I think when you do that, you're learning from the experience they had when they were up a month ago against the Oilers and lost.
That's right.
Granted, 2 of those goals were 6-on-5,
right,
but I think they did a great job of trusting their instincts, and they sacrificed, blocking shots. But defensively, I thought they closed quickly, and they made a conscious decision not to hesitate to trust themselves.
Going into today's game, in fact, as you and I were walking into the rink, I mentioned that all of these games feel like they have a little bit more weight to them. And it's not that wins and losses in October and November didn't count. What is it about this time of year? This is a good feeling to have some pressure to win these games. The Sharks see the standings, no matter if they talk about it or not.
Yeah, you said it. It's meaningful hockey, right? And those are the maturation and the growth of a group, of a team, of an individual is going through those experiences and finding a way to win when the hockey gets tighter. Even though there was a lot of goals scored, it's going to be even more difficult to score goals. It's going to be more difficult. The intensity gets ratcheted up. It's an absolute sprint coming out of an Olympic break to the end of the season. So it's really incumbent upon them to get on a roll, to keep themselves in that playoff race.
Not just to win a game against Edmonton, but to do it in track meet style. That's typically not what teams want to do in facing Edmonton. Final thought, Yaroslav Askarov, even when Edmonton pulled Ingram at the end, it's 6-on-4. Sharks had Desharnais in the box. I mean, for Askey in that final minute to withstand everything he did, and honestly, the course of the entire afternoon, good game for him too, despite seeing 4 up there.
Well, it speaks to his mental toughness, right? He could have easily, thought about it and it would have affected the next save. But I like the fact that he parked it, was able to move on to the next save, and that's probably his superpower. I think that he's a very competitive guy. He's affable and energetic and fun to be around by the looks of it, but he also is very intense. And I think I'm very impressed by his able to get himself back together and find a way to get the most important thing and make the next save, and he did that to close the game out.
Jammer, you're 1-0 in these breakdowns, right?
Let's
so
go.
I'm glad we got you a win. Thanks for doing this.
Appreciate it.
All right.